Today we're speaking to an entrepreneur that's got a meat business. They're a commodity meat broker. First time we've ever had someone like this on the pod, moving millions of pounds worth of meat each and every single year. And the business was doing £4 million worth of turnover and it crashed down to 2.5 million. Now, why is that? What is the things that we need to do to get this business firing on all cylinders again? Strap yourselves in as we have this conversation. Hello campers, welcome back to the business broadcast. Hope everyone is doing well and I hope that your business is thriving. I'm here with JB, the co-host of this here soiree.
Hi there everybody. Welcome to the show.
Are we in the new year?
No, we're not in the new year.
Is this our last episode before Christmas?
No, well, yeah, before Christmas and then there'll be Boxing Day.
Exactly that.
There we go. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Hope you have a fantastic day. We've got a special Christmas Boxing Day special coming out on Boxing Day, actually. So make sure you check it out as we round up everything for the past year.
Yes.
And what we're thinking about for the next year.
Absolutely. But before we get to the end of this year, we've got to help one more business.
One more business, baby.
One more business. DL Foods Limited. He has been trading for about 10 years. He has got an estimated monthly revenue.
Who is he?
He's Lee the meat man.
Lee the meat man. Let's meet Lee.
Let's meet Meat Man Lee. Estimated monthly revenue of 150,000 quid. Does he have any team members? Interesting. He does, but he has 2. Previously, he had 6. This has been a tough old year for Lee.
So he's gone from 2 from 6.
No. Yes, he has. Yeah, 2 from 6. Yeah, thanks for making that sound well confusing.
He used to have 6, now he's got 2.
Absolutely.
That's better.
Cash flow. So the biggest challenge, cash flow after a shock reduction in turnover. And he said this to us in the pre-chat chat. It was literally a shock to turnover. It was, year on year, they've had, growth for the last 10 years, bar the last one. And Brexit has been putting a load of problems in their pathway.
Brexit's been around for a number of years now. Why all of a sudden? That's a big question to ask.
Yeah, we'll find out. Why now? Challenge number 2 is rebuilding the sales pipeline, having had such a sort of downturn. And challenge number 3, keeping regular orders. Where does he want to be in 1 year? Having established a more diverse client base and start to build surplus cash for stock holding. What does the business look like when it's finished? We always like to ask our entrepreneurs this. And he said, a one-stop shop for our clients' advisory and product-based sales. Do you make the profit that you want to make? And if so, what is it? He said, prior to this year, yes, it's given me a very good lifestyle and most of the luxuries that I've wanted. 2024 has gone from a team of 6 to a team of 2 with myself now at the helm of the business, which I actually enjoy. How do you spend your day-to-day time in the business? We always ask people that as well. And he says, I'm actively marketing the products to our live, warm customer base and constantly seeking new suppliers for competitive products. And he's got a bunch of questions that he'd like to ask you. Now, he's like you said at the beginning, he's almost like a meat broker. He's like a day trader, but for meat.
In his own words, he says, I'm trading a commodity.
Yes. And the commodity is obviously, well, it's not a live commodity, is it? But it was a live commodity.
But for commodities, before. He's making 10 to 20% margin on top, which...
Yes.
Last time I checked, most commodity people don't make as strong as 20%. They might make 10% and it's stronger, but usually they're moving millions and making 1-2%, but 1-2% of a lot of money.
I suppose though, this is a commodity that's got a lot more potential biohazard and risk to it.
A lot more meat on the bone for him.
Oh, it's very good, guys. If you don't like, by the way, just a pre-warning here, if you don't like meat jokes, probably switch off.
Yeah.
Because I imagine there's going to be quite a lot to get your teeth into. There's a second one.
There's a second one.
With the 10 to 20% margin, I suppose, unlike a gold or a commodity or gas broker or something like that, where you're not really buying the thing, are you? You're just buying the price effectively. Like he's actually got a tangible item and he's got to move it and someone else has got to have it. Because a lot of this trading, it's just numbers on a screen, isn't it? Like I've got the number on the screen, I give you the number on the screen and I take the margin in between. There's actually stuff that's got to happen with this.
I've always been quite fascinated by these commodity space businesses. It's like, can you sell it when you want to exit?
I suppose if you've got a niche of a niche like Lee's got, I wonder if you potentially can. But again, I guess it's all going to be about connections,
it's all about
isn't
the
it?
talent.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
The quality and the talent of the trader, really, isn't it?
Yes, and how do you tie that talent in?
Yeah. Yeah, that is tricky.
Well, I believe there's a knock at the door, is there?
There is a knock at the door indeed. You are quite right. And if I can find it, there you go. It's time for this.
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
I have got such a good quote for you today.
Well, I've had so many
You see, I sent you a fact.
Yeah. I've had so many facts and quotes from my Instagram audience. Give me a follow at James Sinclair Entrepreneur. What's your Instagram handle?
I'm not
JB?
saying it because you always just make a joke of me.
I think because a lot of people would like to follow you.
At James Burt Official.
Idiot. Always makes me laugh. Idiot. At James Burt Official. Okay. What a wally. James. Oh, please, can someone go and set up James Burt Unofficial? Start stealing it.
Start a rogue account.
So I'm going to read out a few from Instagram audience. I've got loads
Give
here.
him a shout out as well if you got
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh, that is good.
Oh, lovely one.
That is really good.
Risk is what's left over when you think you thought of everything.
Oh,
come on,
come
on, Instagram. A small 1% improvement per day makes you 37 times stronger at the end of 365 days.
Yeah, that is great, isn't it? Power of compounding.
Oh, this one I love from tennis_Tom1. If the Kangaroos were to invade Belgium, each Belgian would have to fight off 4 kangaroos. I think that's my favourite ever fact. Not businessy.
It's great. It gets a round of applause.
I am Joe Baxter. To be successful, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Classic.
True.
Coke is the better brand, but Pepsi returns better for its investors.
Oh,
I like that one from John
really?
Krusik.
That's
there
good.
We go. Austin Noble, Innovate or Evaporate by James Sinclair. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow, you're getting your own facts chucked back at you. Quotes, rather.
You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. I stole that from Chuds.
That's good.
Who did you steal that from, Chuds? He doesn't know.
Loads of people, like every motivational speaker.
Brad Champion sent that. There we go. Mirth_AJ. Costco spend $0 on traditional advertising. They do direct mail only. Their magazine. Love them. James Burt Official. Here's a fact. Should do your own research. Charlton Cooper. I love Charlton. Fellow importer from around the world and leisure business owner. Hello, Charlton. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Oh,
come on, Charlton.
Quote of the day.
Beautiful.
Quote of the day.
I'm gonna just because it's Christmas.
Go on.
Come on. Mini me Enkahusian. An entrepreneur tends to bite off a little more than he can chew. Damn straight.
Yes.
Hoping he'll quickly learn to chew it though. I love that. I've got too many to read. I'm just going to this one from Danny Spuggs to see us out. Ibiza holds the record for the most missed flights in the world.
Well, that is not surprising in any way, shape, or form.
I thought there's some good ones there.
That's a great
Thank you,
fact.
Instagram.
Well done, Instagram.
Everyone playing along.
I brought a quote to the party. Darkness cannot survive in the presence of light.
Yeah, baby.
Darkness can't survive in the presence of light.
Yeah.
I read that in a book. I think it was like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Have you ever read that book?
No.
It's simply down a right woo-woo hole. Have you ever read that book, Chuds?
Say again?
The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, it's amazing. One of the best books I've ever read.
It's just like, does it not like send you off
Can
down
we
a
have a
spiral?
thesis then used to, rather than just...
Basically, the don't fear the past because it's already gone. The present, the future never exists because you'll never get there. All you have is here and now. Done. Don't bother reading it. There you go.
Definitely read it, James.
No, but do you believe that's basically a good one paragraph summary?
Yeah, it would be difficult to try and explain it.
You can't really explain it, can you? I tried to.
It's very good for anxiety and worries. It eliminates that immediately.
Yes.
There's no. Yeah, it's really good. It's very good for your mind.
Is it? Well, okay, come on then. So what's it called?
The Power of Now.
Power of Now.
By Eckhart Tolle.
Now, Power of Now could be a last-minute Christmas gift book. I'm going to, just while we're here, what's your best read of the year? I think that'd be quite a good...
Oh, that would. Ask everyone on Instagram as well. And
what's your
YouTube?
Best read of the year? So I'm going to go to my Audible library.
I know mine. I've got two. Go on.
Go on.
No, you go. Driven. I've heard about this.
Driven by Douglas Brackman, talking about driven people. I thought that was a very good read of mine. I also, I think Built to Sell was my absolute favourite of this year.
That's my top two. Yeah,
I think that was very good. I reread How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis.
How's that working out for you? I've read it again. It hasn't worked yet.
Well,
Are you reading a different edition? How many times have I got to read this bloody thing? Do you read it backwards?
I just read it every year. I just think it's the best one.
Maybe I'm not reading it right. Maybe I need to join you for bedtime reading.
Yeah. Well, it's just good.
Budge up, Nats. I've got another one in the bed for bedtime reading. I'm going to read him a little
I
story.
think I'm going through. I've read a lot this year. I think best podcast. I think
This one.
Yeah, business broadcast.
Standard.
But the guys that acquired.
That is good.
I've just been listening to the IKEA story. Wow.
Okay.
So their latest one. My God, this guy. Do you know?
I've not listened to that
Do you want
one
an
yet.
interesting fact or quote of the week?
I think, do you know what?
Because we
Yes.
just know of IKEA. How much money do you think they raised to get IKEA going? They only raised money once,
I didn't think they'd raise anything.
$50
Really?
to buy some fountain pens, and then started a mail order business on catalogue, and then opened a showroom and started giving away free food if you travelled from all over Sweden to see their showroom.
Is that where the cheap meatballs concept come from?
I mean, it eventually came, but from the day IKEA opened, it was doing food free, and then it's next to free now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But just I can't wait to finish the story because it is an amazing. And do you know how they got the idea of flat pack furniture? They were selling fully formed furniture,
Yeah.
mail order, but it was taking up so much space, and they had to move something, and they took the legs off to move it upstairs, and it was just an aha moment. That,
Oh, really?
because the I and the K is his initials.
Oh, is
Mr.
it?
Eklen kicking what something, and then the E and the A stands for, in Swedish,
Flat pack.
no, stands for catalogue collection or something like that. So it's IKEA, literally that. And they moved the
table.
legs,
Yeah.
and he just literally there in the 50s went, oh my God,
Why don't we do that?
this will save us a lot of money. And then they worked out people loved assembling just a little bit of furniture. They had a real pride and sense of ownership.
Yeah.
Now it just about keeps relationships together, in my experience, if you do flat pack furniture. But that and it is an amazing story. So Acquired have got some of the best listens for entrepreneurs and business owners, but still Business Wars and Business Movers are still the winners.
So Wondery have got a new one that, well, it's not new, it's new to me, that I think you will have. The best idea yet.
Oh, come on.
And they share.
Is the production quality good?
It's amazing. It's two guys.
Like Business Wars and Business
No.
Movers
So this
quality.
is very different. So it's very much more fast paced. It's got more of a, you'll have to listen to it. It's hard to explain, but there's great production, great storytelling, but it's very quick. I can see who it appeals. It appeals to like a younger demographic that haven't got time for like a Business Wars.
So what I like about Business Movers and Business Wars, I'm so in love with the quality of
the production. This is brilliant in a different way. Have a listen to it. I think you'll really like it. Yeah, they talk about the latest episode is the Air Jordans.
Yeah.
And how MJ, not that MJ, the other one.
Yeah, and going on to Acquired, like they do 4-hour episodes on a company.
Yeah.
Like you will learn so much, just brilliant. They're researching, they're smart chaps that it's just really good. But
they are an
Wars
exception to the rule because they can put out a podcast whenever they want and it will be between 90 minutes and about 4 hours long. There's no cadence of the content coming out. They do very little promo around it. They send one message on their email list and that's about it.
That's about it.
And it's brilliant.
Business Movers, Business Movers. I listened to the one about Robert Maxwell this year.
Yes.
I definitely go and listen to that because what that man did was unbelievable and awful and
In equal measure.
Yeah. And it just went down the wrong path, and if he'd just done some good stuff, he would have been one of the most successful people ever. Okay. What's
the best book you've read this year, Chuds?
The Creative Act by Rick Rubin.
The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Oh, I've not heard of that. I'm going to write that one
What's
down.
it taught you, Chance?
Talks a lot about creativity and mindset around it and how to achieve flow state, how to make stuff that you're proud of,
I
enjoy
love
the
Rick
things
Rubin.
you're making. Yeah,
Have
just
you listened
very
to his podcast?
Yeah, very
Oh, so
philosophical around creating stuff.
I've got an idea. Just one more thing, Chance. What's the most favourite YouTube video that we've made this year on the main channel? What one springs to mind.
The Istanbul video is good. I enjoy that.
That wasn't this year, was it?
It might have not been.
No, in 2024.
I was thinking that was like February 2024.
No.
Okay.
I think that was this year you did the turkey thing.
No, I don't think it was. No, I said that. Yeah, I think that was last year.
I liked the one where you broke down the why you've bought that residential house that you didn't actually want to buy for the trading estate.
Yeah,
I
good.
thought that was a
not my
brilliant
favourite.
video.
I think still that 0 to 1 million. Was that this year?
I don't know.
Who's been your favourite child this year?
My favourite child?
Yeah, which one's your favourite?
I like them, love them both in different ways. One of them is definitely easier to look after than the other, though, I will tell you that. But I do love them both in easier ways. But, geez, whoever told you about having children, that is.
Whoever spun that was a good idea is a bigger lie than the stuff about Santa Claus. Anyway, should we get back on with?
Well, I want to know Chud's favourite video of the year. And I'm going to say, the day in the life we did with Aaron.
Back catalogue.
I was about to say that, yeah, actually.
I think that's probably my favourite one we've made of the year. And for our regular audience, that's the one I think they liked the best.
I liked the Shopify video we made.
Yes, that was good.
Oh, yes. How
That was a
much
good
money
one.
we make using Shopify, and Shopify gave us no money for that.
Put a link in the show notes to that one. I think
Yeah.
people like that one. Right.
Oh, hang on a
Daniel
sec.
Priestley's interview was very good.
Very good, yeah. Sorry, Joe. I know you want to crack on,
God, it's just
JB.
like a pat yourselves on the back session here.
I also loved I bought this £10 million wholesale food business.
That one was good. Was that the one that like popped?
That and the hotel one and the soft play one.
Oh,
Basically
the hotel
the
one was
last
good.
month of YouTube videos, yeah.
You finished working out with how brilliant you are?
We started with product innovation
Nope.
in Italy.
That was fun.
Oh, I bought a roller skating rink. That was a great video as
that
well.
was good.
So what's your favourite, Chance? You can only have one. I know JB's getting very frustrated.
Shopify. Let's go for that one.
Shopify. I'm going to go for the video with Aaron.
Put the links.
A day
Put
in
the
the
links
life
in the show notes. There
A
you go.
£40 million entrepreneur if you want to go and watch it.
Very good content. Right, are you two done now?
Yeah. Thanks for listening to today's episode.
Yeah, Lee's sitting there going, cheers. He could have traded a load of meat in this amount of time. Oh, and now he's doing that stupid thing with his glasses. He's got the Meta glasses on.
These are great, by the way. Get them on your Christmas list. You'll love them.
Yeah, I might get some for Christmas, actually. Right, let's get Lee on the pod and find out what's been going on in the last 12 months.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Lee, welcome to the show, my friend. Thank you for waiting patiently in the wings there. Give us a summary of you in the business, mate, and tell us what's been going on in the last 12 months.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks for having us on. We're a B2B business, manufacturing, selling to manufacturing companies that make meat products. Quite a big chunk of our business was importing from Europe over the last sort of 8 to 9 years, and more in the niche products, so specialty things like rabbit and goat and all these quirky products that we'd always had a really good market share from, and brought a lot of customers to us and other products with that. The big changes this year were rolling out Brexit changes that were coming over the years, so they did them in sort of stages where I think it was 2022 they changed where you had to have an import declaration, which is the first stage, which is quite simple. But that probably took a few months also of sort of fiddling with hauliers who weren't sure how to do it. But the biggest change was the requirement for health certificates on all medium and high risk products into the UK. So that included meat products, plants as well, I believe. And it means that there's a more traceability, more requirements, and a vet to sign off every order that was to come into the UK. Whereas in the past, you could say bring a single pallet of product without any paperwork. Now it meant that every single pallet was considered a separate export. And it caused issues with suppliers because it was a lot of extra paperwork and they wanted scale more so, which suited us luckily. But a lot of the products we brought in, they couldn't get the certification and couldn't get the traceability required because of the nature of the products. So therefore we had that immediate stop of importing of those lines, which were quite important to us at that time. And they haven't resumed since on most of them.
So is there anyone who's able to import these specialist lines, so like the rabbit and goat?
Not at the moment in any way, really.
Wow,
no,
okay.
There's some coming through. The minute bits that we discovered over the months of trying to, talk to vets and trying to help suppliers deal with it was it was like a version of the certification of origin. So if you had, say, one production plant that was, say, processing, let's say, rabbits, and they came from 4 countries, the amount of paperwork required for each single origin was far excessive for what they were willing to do as well. And some of the sites weren't approved for UK use. So once they'd put them together as such in a pile or on a container, the whole thing then became, not UK approved for such a trivial thing. And they haven't really dealt with that since, really. And I think for them, they probably don't really think the UK market's worth the trouble, I think, in some cases.
Right, that was going to be my next question. So are they not getting, because of obviously this additional work and paperwork and headache, they just don't see the value of doing that because the UK is just not a big enough market for them to warrant the additional...
Yeah, I think there was certainly a few suppliers that have worked and overcome it and were fine, maybe 30% of them. But a lot of them where it was quite complex, and I think being in their shoes, I'd probably have said the same, what's the point, of all that paperwork? And if it gets to the border and it's sent back, it's a lot of costs as well that they end up paying for.
So what's happening is people just make sorry, people just doing it in the UK now and not importing it.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of those products aren't really here at all in the UK. So things like rabbit and goat, we just don't have them. So there's, from this started in February the 1st, and even at this point, our customers still want these products really, but we still can't find them in any volume, where we'd be bringing in maybe 2 to 3 containers every other month of these products. It's completely evaporated for now.
Is it not a case of, this sounds daft and obviously it's not your main business, but is there not a case then that there's an opportunity for UK farmers farming rabbits and goats? I mean, do we even do that here? Is that a thing?
Yeah, there is some goat farmers. I think because the market is so small, it's that economy of scale thing really, where
Right.
they a lot of them wouldn't want to deviate from doing lamb and the typical products really. And there is certainly some that will do it, but from the scale I guess we need, and it's a lot of the byproducts that we buy as well. So it's like the unwanted parts. So it takes a lot of production to give us what we need really.
Right.
For example, like let's say a rabbit carcass might only weigh 1 kilo, and we're bringing 20 ton over. It's a lot of rabbits.
Yeah.
And they're not the highest welfare standards. So again, I think they're the things that wouldn't really sit well over here anyway. When people are buying the pets at home.
So just for people who are listening at home, so your role is you're a meat broker.
That's right.
Essence, like a day trader of meat. So you will go to the suppliers in different countries, and then you will broker the price, and then stick your margin on top, and you will sell to, I don't know, I'm just picking random. You would sell like a ton of goats to Pedigree Chum, for example.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Really, yeah. I think a lot of these contacts I've built up over the time. I've been doing it in multiple visits to European trade shows and cold calling, email shots for years. And finding these people over all that time and finding that black book almost, and it was had a bit of that taken away this year. So we've still got such a lot of suppliers, but it's these niche things that were really important, really. And again, it's not really something we can replace like for like. So we're having to look at, what else can we do, in addition, or just do more of the same, really, of the usual commodities like beef, and lamb, because we do everything really.
Just thinking, it's quite a good bit. If you do 4 million of turnover and you make 10 to 20%, so you make anywhere between 400 and 800,000 of gross profit, and there's only 2 staff, like that's a good business, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing that at the point when we had 6, which is still a huge. I know I listen to your show a lot, and the turnover to people is very good on that basis. And I think even with 2, we'll probably still hit 2.5 million this year. Fighting for life, really. In truth, and it's difficult trading at the moment. Just down to economic as well. On top of that, really.
But people have still got pets, and they still need to be fed. So where is all that going if it's not going to you? It must be going somewhere.
Yeah, I think a lot of our customers have had a lot of competition as well, a new people approaching the market, because it has been such a growth market, and everyone's trying to manufacture pet food to get a piece of this pie, really. And I think there's just been that watering down maybe across competition, and we've seen on our customer base over the last 2 years a good mix of maybe some not making it and not being able to produce enough and closing, and then some that are just flatlining, and then some that are having huge growth spurts, new premises, big investment. And I think even they felt this year that the growth they expected hasn't been there after that, really. And I think it's our customers make raw pet food, so it's a premium product as opposed to, I guess, the kibbles and the cans, like your butchers. So this is a more premium product in effect, and I think again it's probably been a bit of a perfect storm that people, when they're a bit skint, may just pop down to Home Bargain instead of the direct delivery.
So how many customers have you got?
We typically have around between 20 and 30 active at the moment at any time, but we may use as many as 50 or 60 customers over the course of a year, really, with some seasonal ranges.
Surely if things are a bit tougher, you need to market harder and bring around all the raw food dog suppliers in the country and just tell them that you're there. How often do you do stuff like that?
I would say most weeks, really. That's all the job is, to some extent. It is just making contact.
Is it anyone new, or is it the same 20-30?
Yeah, we're always looking at new or inactive customers, should I say. And I think one thing that we haven't done recently is look at the new market, really, the new businesses. I think it's been that go into defense mode when things get tough and you sort of forget really what the routine is.
I'll tell you what I would do. Someone like Herbal Dog Company that's been on the podcast.
Just thinking about her.
You need to ring her.
I just saw that.
Yeah, I'd ring her and say, look, do you want to start a dog food business? We can supply you all the meat and we'll help you get going and give you some consultancy for free. You find 20 pet food businesses that are not doing dog food yet, but that have got supply chain brand and stuff like that. Maybe they're doing toys, maybe they're doing clothes for dogs, maybe they're doing dog shampoo for dogs or pats or whatever it is, and then you create your own market. When I started Teddytastic, that's what I did. I wanted teddy bears to have for my own businesses, and then I went to Christmas Grottos and said, don't buy them cheap tat from China, buy my teddy bears. Still from China, but they're much better quality than the plastic tutty toys that you're getting. And I'll give you to them on sale or return. I'll help you get the business going. I'll consultancy for you. And I built a marketplace because of that. When I bought the Sand Art Company, I bought the it was called Kids Be Happy. They had a big list of holiday parks, and then I piggybacked on the back of their database and got my teddy bears in there on the back of their database. So you could buy some other companies, get their database and say, that fold into the vertically integrated ecosystem. And that's usually my play on this stuff.
Yeah, it's been definitely something that we've had dreams of as such in the past, and we've we've thought about that link up, not necessarily in the food, but like you say, somewhere where the customers are shared, and there's no one's going
But
to
sometimes
risk
if they haven't done it
declaring who
before,
they have.
yeah, if they haven't done it before, but they've got a brand and a database, and they know their customers are doing it, and you come to them and say, look, I've got an oven ready system for you. You've got a good business here. You've got a database. Have you considered doing this? I can introduce you to some people on how you can do it. This is the sort of investment, but this is the money it can make. And your customers will be buying it, and, you know, they're regularly buying from you. I reckon there's 10, 20 of them in the country.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we see a lot of it in these sort of pet trade shows as well, sort of sideline, different verticals, like you say, and not in the meat sector, but they'll have the client base that I'm sure will be able to both benefit from having access to either or, really, and our expertise in theirs as well.
The thing I worry about your business is, and I just want to ask you this, do you ever want to sell it one day, and what would be the value?
I think it was something maybe a year or two ago. I think a lot of people think about it, and I've seen a few companies sell in our sector reasonably successfully. I think a lot of it needs those contracts, the longer term forward planning business, where you've got 3 to 6 months in the pipeline, because they have quite got a good turn on them. We have a good sort of debt turn. We don't get many liquidations on our side, so we're quite lucky in protecting ourselves. But it's very competitive, and I think the bigger firms can easily outbid us, really. And I think that's happening more now, where the middle people like ourselves have got to do more service and got to show more value than just the product itself, which we always have,
and focus on making your customers sticky with those contracts, because that's how you get maximum value. The reason I say is, look, we should always have that. We're building to sell, because that discipline makes us build something so much better, and that's why I just sort of constantly say that on the pod, even if we have no intention of selling it. It just makes you make better decisions.
Have you got? And I think I would have sold, definitely. I'm never one to hold too hard on something. And I always like the new challenges. I always like to do something new, and quite impatient, and I get bored easily, maybe. So I would always revel in starting again. It would never scare me.
Feels like there's an opportunity with potentially a direct-to-consumer branded, isn't it? Like I say, you'd either partner with like a herbal dog, or you would do it
start your own
collab, or you share database, or whatever it may be.
This is it, and I think we did play a bit with maybe getting a product packed for us, which was more like a raw treat. There's a bit of paperwork and traceability and difficulty doing that, because it is pet food. They classify the products very differently, but it was something we were passionate about doing, and whilst also not being careful not to try and go after our customers, which is obviously the key thing. We didn't want to cross that line, really.
People worry about that way too much. No one gives the monkeys. It's just. I just, do you think Tesco's are really worried about bringing their own brand beans and, annoying Heinz? They both sit there hand on hand. I don't think you should worry about that.
No,
I think 20 years ago, maybe that was a thing, but now, Nike sell directly, they sell through wholesale. The world's changed, direct to consumer on the internet. Like, if it's not you, it'll be someone else.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree.
And Teddytastic, my business, and Party Pieces, both direct to consumer businesses, both sell to wholesalers, and both sell on their own space. You can't lose that 1.5 million. It needs to come back, doesn't it? That you've dropped in revenue, and actually building a direct to consumer business and having a lot of little customers rather than 20, 30 customers, and worrying about all this regulation of importing stuff. You might have to rethink that mindset.
Yeah. I think someone said the other day that the wall's there now, and there's no point trying to think about knocking it down. It's just we have to work around it, and like I say, redevelop the business or reinvent it a little bit. And that, like you said, direct consumer is a great way to get regular business, and you can actively market it.
I'm a big fan of direct to consumer and wholesale working together, I think it gives you buying power and then some higher margin, and also a lot of little customers buying from you a lot of the time. Is there anything else?
Yeah.
Is there any questions or any other challenges we haven't covered, JB?
So there was, I think we've covered all those. There's some questions that you had submitted, Lee.
Yes.
Do you remember them, or do you want me to ask them for you?
No, I've got them written down, printed out.
Okay, go for it. Yeah. So chuck your questions at Jimbo, unless they've already been covered off, my man.
I think the first one was how to trade the business into a more contractual entity. I think that's really the direct consumer, I think, and route that way, really. I think that answers that. I think more about if and when I decide to rehire a team, where would I first start? I think the thing that we'd had when the staff we've let go recently is that because they are quite well skilled as traders, they tend to go and work and do the same thing somewhere else quite effectively. It's quite easy to move on. We've retained a lot of business, really. We haven't really seen a huge drop, but it's always a concern that you give people a lot of, and I trust people and I really enjoy people, and all of our staff were here 3 years before we had to let them go, sadly. So we had a good team, a good culture. But it was just, how do I protect the business more next time with being a sole director? Do I bring a business partner in or an investor in the future, or do I build a team again?
Give your team profit share.
Yeah.
Don't give up ownership, because that always gets messy. Just do profit share.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a bit more tied in then than just being.
The only time you would bring in team is if you say, right, we're going to exit. Sorry, bring in people. We're going to exit in 5 years. We're building this to say, like, you'll have a piece of pie. You're putting some money in. I need your expertise, and it's a real plan. But if it's just for the sake of doing it, it's a stupid thing to do on all levels. Just reward people well and make it a great place to work. Do a profit share if needed. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I think, like you say, it's more the, getting our next long-term plan in place now. What market we're going for.
I think you need to work out what your business looks like when it's finished, then reverse engineer it. And then you go, right, I want it to make this profit. What revenue does it need to do? What do our customers look like? How can we make our customers sticky? How can we make this business look like it's ready to sell? How could we make investors want to buy it from us? Answer all those questions. And then you build something so much stronger, and you've got a cohesive plan on the back of that.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree. Because it is very much like a lot of the businesses you talk about. We often start from 0 months in effect sometimes. I wouldn't say absolute zero, but it certainly starts at a third of where we need to be. And it's a very driving business where you have to be driving every day.
For sure. Anything else?
I don't think so, actually. No, it's been, I think I've got everything I've liked out of what I've asked initially anyway.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. If there's, if people want to find out where they can buy rabbit meat and goat's meat and check out your business, where do they go?
Can't buy it anymore.
No, you can't buy
We've got to go to Latvia to get all that good stuff these days.
Well, there's still some things there. Don't worry, we've got plenty.
And where can I find out more?
The website is dlfoodsltd.co.uk.
Good stuff.
And there's plenty of information on there, and I'm sure we can help anyone in any type of food industry, and we can start to look into new verticals anytime soon.
What meat is big in Europe on the mainland that we don't really eat here? Like rabbit, for example.
Horse.
That's like horse we don't really touch, do we? Rabbit we don't really touch. What's big in mainland Europe, Lee?
They eat a lot of pork, really, more than here. And certainly like Germany, Belgium, France, a lot of pork. And I think then after that, you've been to the niche stuff like the rabbit. They do eat a bit of horse in Spain and Italy.
And France, don't they?
Yeah. But I would say it's always chicken. Chicken's always a winner. It's the biggest commodity across all of them.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Do you know what the second biggest commodity in the world is?
Oh, is it? Let me guess.
Bitcoin.
It's going to be grain, poultry feed.
I thought it was coffee. I thought number 2 was coffee. It's in the...
You're chucking out facts and stats to stuff you don't know the answer to. He always does this. Sorry, Lee. Sorry, listener. Sorry, viewer on YouTube.
Commodity.
It's the first crude oil, would you say, probably?
Yeah, oil was I'm sure is number 1. Biggest commodity in the world. Yeah, is oil.
I'd say it could be animal feed or something like that, I think.
There we go.
Yeah, is it
Natural
wheat?
gas is number 2.
Oh, natural gas.
Number
Okay.
3 is gold. Number 4 is silver. Number 5 is copper. Number 6 is coffee. So coffee is after oils, and I knew it was something.
Precious metals. Wow.
After oil, so that coffee is above meat and food and
Wow.
grain.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Coffee it is.
It is so. I knew it was like an unusual thing.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. Well, thanks very much for being on the big show.
Yeah,
Thank
it's been
you,
a
Lee.
pleasure.
Thanks for your time. Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you
All
so
the best.
much.
Take care. All the best. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you go, Lee, all the way from Lancashire.
You know our Boxing Day special.
Yes.
We was going to mention the biggest or the most interesting facts or quotes of the week, and we didn't mention that. But I think my favourite fact still is how many containers go on a container ship.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
And
That
people
one.
still reference that to me when I see them. Oh, listen to that podcast. I had to go and Google it afterwards, and you were right. People still can't
Don't believe it. No, it just sounds so far fetched, doesn't
Just
it?
if you're listening, on average, it's 20,000 containers go on a
ridiculous.
ship. And people just can't. No, you're lying.
No.
40-foot containers. It can't be true. And they have to go and Google it, don't you?
I still don't get when you see them. When I Googled it after, like, how does it float? It just
Yeah.
makes zero sense that thing floats. Anyway, talking about...
Chud's got something to say.
Sorry, Chuds.
How many people go on a cruise ship?
Oh, like 5,000?
Yeah, it's
That's
about
what I
that.
mean. So then you say 20,000.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine 20,000
Yeah.
people going on a
No.
boat.
Yeah.
They're
it's
so much
mad.
bigger than these cruise ships, aren't
But
they?
I think that about that commodity fact about coffee, I remember that. You know, it's one of those things thinking, no way. Coffee can't be one of the most
Yeah.
traded commodities in the world. So after oil, then it's natural gas, then it's gold, then it's silver, then there was another something, and then it's coffee.
Yeah.
So coffee is above, like
But
this
think-
man that works in
Yeah.
commodities is above grains. It's above, it's just mad.
It's so popular though, isn't it? It's, you know, how much of the
Worldwide.
world... Let's stop talking about
China,
it. Chud's on a
India.
30-day ban from...
Brazil, America, Europe, it's just,
It's cultural, isn't it? It's ingrained into the fabric of
how
our
many cups of coffee
society.
do you have a day?
Oh, absolutely loads.
Over 3,
Oh, yeah, 5?
do you?
Yeah.
5-cup James Sinclair, that's what you are.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, probably, 4 or 5, I'd say a day. It's not really healthy, but I've started drinking mushroom coffee.
Is
so
coffee
I'm
that
all right.
bad for you? I don't
Well,
think
it's
so.
a diuretic, isn't it? And it's also, apparently, I don't know.
Diuretic?
Yeah,
What's a diuretic?
you don't want to know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to the likes of you these days. Chud's on a 30-day challenge, isn't he? He's not having it.
Yeah, Chelsea,
Day
have you,
15.
what day are you on, mate?
Day 15.
It's day 15.
This is
no
the most,
coffee.
you're about to get the most Chud's answer of all time. Ask him how he's finding it.
How you finding it?
Why is that, JP?
Just respond how you responded to me earlier.
Yeah, no real effect. I thought it was going to be interesting, and I'd have
He's
all
just
these.
done nothing.
I'd have all these withdrawal symptoms, and I'm sleeping better. I've got loads of energy. I just feel the same, but without the coffee.
Yeah.
He just feels the same, but just a little bit annoyed that he
I
can't
think
have a coffee.
that's good though, because then it didn't really
You're not
affect.
overly reliant.
Yeah. So then I'm not like, all right, yeah, my life. If I was sat here saying my life has completely changed, then yeah, I'd stick
I
with
would.
It,
If I had to do 30 days without coffee, I'd be like a crackhead in the corner, just like gently rocking, hugging my knees.
I don't think, I think I could give up coffee pretty easily.
You don't drink that much of it though, do you?
Every day.
Yeah, but
that's
you
why
don't
I
drink-
wanted to do it, because you drink it every day, and I was like, well, there must be some withdrawal symptoms, but not really.
I actually went to
for
the
me.
doctor and got high blood pressure, and he said, are you drinking lots of coffee? You shouldn't drink lots of coffee.
Oh,
Got
really?
high blood pressure, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've got to go and have one of them MOTs done, you know, end
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what
year
happens.
MOTs.
Once you get close to 40, baby.
Yeah, I know.
But it is a time for a knock on the door.
It is indeed. Because it's time for this.
What?
Eh?
It's Jim versus JP.
Oh, we got to rate the entrepreneur.
Hold on, sorry, Chud's. Thank God, producer Chud. I need like a record scratch. We need a record scratch. Sorry, yeah, we've got to rate the entrepreneur.
Okay, thinking with the end in mind. It's
No.
no.
I don't think he is.
Let me just bring up the facts.
It's time for 8 traits of the greats.
8 traits of the greats, of which I'm clearly not. Passionate about their cause.
We
I don't-
should start getting our listeners and watchers to guess which recording session of the day that they are currently watching.
I don't think. Is he that passionate about it? I don't think so. Do you think?
Hang on, we haven't got past the first one yet, have we?
Starting with the end in mind. We said no.
Oh, we agreed on that. Okay, sorry.
Passionate about his cause.
I mean, he's
Nobody
been
said,
doing it
I
a
could
long
start
time.
something new.
No, that's true. Yeah, 0. Big fat 0.
Untold amounts of resilience. I think he's got that.
Yeah.
He's an innovator and evaporate.
No. Yeah, no.
No. Commercial awareness, I think he's got that.
Yeah.
You're going to have that in that game, aren't you? You have to know your numbers. Relationships, people, I think he does have that.
Yeah, it does.
You just can't not have that. The master marketer, no, I don't think so.
No.
But
Suppose he doesn't have to because he's only got a few customers.
stay teachable and curious, he does definitely,
definitely
have
does that.
So that's 4 out of 8, which is usually what most people get.
4 out of 8.
4 out of 8, baby.
It
Thank
ain't-
you, Chuds, for being the producer here and the director and actually making sure we do our job correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 out of 8. I think we've had worse businesses that have
Let's
scored.
give him 5 out of 8 then.
Let's give him 5
He
out of
gets
8.
5 out of 8.
We can't have the jingle again because it's time for this. It's time for the business quiz.
It's Jim versus JP on the quiz that's businessy.
Yes, it
It's
is.
the last one of the
Business
year.
knowledge and it's fun.
Which
No,
one's
it's not.
clever and which one's not? It's not. It's not the
Easy,
last one of the
wizzy.
year.
Let's get quizzy.
Thanks, Shuds.
It is the last one before Crimbo, though.
It is indeed.
What have you bought me this year?
I've bought you the gift of more listeners to your podcast. Questionable.
Oh, dear.
In this top secret, confidential, never been opened before envelope, there is a business fact or statistic. Me and James Sinclair, and sometimes Chuds, unless he's written the question, in which case he can't join in because he knows the answer, obviously. We take it upon ourselves to work out the answer. Closest to the answer wins an amazing prize. One gets an amazing cup. The other gets the spoon of doom. Who is going to be the champion today and who is going to be the commiseratory party? Let's find out when we ask today's question, which is, how many turkeys are sold in the UK every Christmas? Oh, this is good. How many turkeys are sold in the UK every Christmas? James Sinclair, give me your best turkey impression. Go. It's good. I wasn't even going to ask Chuds to imagine Chuds. Chuds, give us a turkey impression. No. So how many turkeys are sold in the UK every year, every Christmas? How many turkeys are sold? Okay. I need to get my working out paper on. One. 50%.
How many times do you have turkey? You do have...
Only once. Actually, we have it loads because my mother-in-law loves cooking it. Because we've got 6 people coming for Christmas. So guess how many turkeys you need? 4! Of course you do. 4 whole dead birds for 6 people.
Why have you got 4?
Are tiny children. I don't know, because she thinks that there may be some sort of like apocalyptic event and we could just all need to bunker down somewhere and eat turkey.
You've bought 4 turkeys for the
I
bird.
haven't. My mother-in-law has. Guess how many, at the time of recording, which is on the 3rd of December, but in real time, guess how many turkeys have already been cooked, ready for Christmas? 2.
Where are they now?
They're in the freezer. So they've been fresh, cooked, carved up, gutted, and then giblets pulled out of them and put back in the freezer.
Can I just... How
Then
many
they'll
times
get
do you
thawed.
have turkey before Christmas?
Oh, very little. We have it thereafter.
This question is specifically Christmas. though,
Christmas,
right?
though, yeah.
So
Well, Christmas
just,
Day.
Just think about December. Yeah.
How many turkeys are sold in the UK every Christmas?
But that's the whole of December, isn't it?
I think turkey sales in December, yeah.
I've got my number.
Go on then, give us it.
What have you gone?
No, you go
I've
first.
got 11,
I've already written
11.5 million.
11.5 million. I've gone 7 million. Did you
Yeah,
write this
I know,
one?
yeah.
You wrote this one. Chuds knows then. So he can't join in. How many turkeys are sold in the UK every Christmas? Oh, you gotta be joking me. 10 million.
Thank you.
Oh, he does it again. He does it again.
Spoon of doom.
Everything. What have you been the champion of today? Chocolate facts and turkey.
Yeah.
Won't be you next year, though, will it? That includes 6,711 tons of fresh turkey and 12,472 tons of frozen turkey. Turns out mums still do, in fact, go to Iceland. Bonus question. Oh, here you go. I could get it back here. Which supermarket sells the most turkeys every year? Oh, I can't join in this. You can. Which supermarket sells the most turkeys each Christmas?
Tesco.
Tesco's correct. How much of a percentage of the UK turkey sales does it create?
32%.
You are bloody fantastic, James Sinclair. 27.6%. Bonus. Sainsbury's is second. How much of the market do they have?
10.5%.
15.8. You couldn't make it up. This is why he's an award-winning entrepreneur, guys. This is good. He's going to love this. Final part of today's business quiz. It's not a fact. It's not a quiz. It's not a statistic. It's a crap joke, and it's right up your street, Sinclair. Are you ready for this? You're going to love it. What does a one-legged turkey say?
I don't know.
Hobble, hobble. It's good. Well done, Chuds.
So I've got a couple of
I
gifts.
bet I literally paid Chuds to have to write that down.
That wasn't my
I
joke.
knew it wouldn't be you. I knew it wouldn't be you.
I've got a couple of gifts for you for the new year.
Have you?
I've got a copy of the Dream Team for
Oh,
you.
thank you so much.
Have you got one of these?
No, I have not.
There you
Has
go.
anybody?
No,
Have you
no.
got-
But you could probably sell this and make
Are you signing it? Oh my goodness. You've just
Dude.
devalued it.
my lovely Bert. So that's yours. Happy Christmas to you.
Thank you, mate.
But also, I've got
The gift that
free
keeps on
office
giving.
space for you for next year and use of my studio in Essex.
Where are you going to
For
put
you
it?
and your team.
Marsh Farm?
No, it's going to be here.
I mean, this is even more inconvenient. I could come in via...
Don't be so rude. I've just offered you free office space for a whole year to get you going as you build your team up to 5 people.
I suppose actually I could fly out of Biggin Hill, couldn't I? If I've got a light aircraft license, I could
I
probably...
mean, if you say no to my gift, I will be offended.
Okay, sure, but it's not a gift then, it's a threat, isn't it? It's a hostage situation.
It's a hostage situation.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching and listening to this episode of the podcast. If you have enjoyed it, please feel free to recommend it to a friend. We don't say like punt it out to everybody. Just recommend pass the pod to one other person.
Yeah,
Send
that'd
it
be
to one
very
other
kind of
person.
you.
If they're an entrepreneur, small business owner, and you think they need to hear this information, then please feel free to share the pod.
Happy
along.
Christmas and Happy New Year.
Ta-da!
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business. If you're loving the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And why not give this one a watch? I think you'll like it.